In this video, we'll break down the correct bench press form into 11 essential steps. Form varies depending on each individual skeletal structure, training level, and the weight being lifted. The form shown here is not the absolute answer. Use it as a foundation and customize it to suit your own body mechanics. The bench press is an exercise where the amount of weight you can handle changes dramatically depending on the precision of your form. If your form is incorrect, your strength won't transfer efficiently, resulting in poor output or injuries that could keep you from training for an extended period. On the other hand, mastering proper form can easily increase your bench by 10 kilograms or even 20 kilograms. By learning an injury-free form, you can avoid injuries that would otherwise force you to take long breaks from training. Step 1. Lie down on the bench. Lie down on the bench and adjust your position. As a guideline, your eyes to chin should be directly under the bar. You can also check that your arms are vertical when extended upward. Avoid using marks on the ceiling as a reference point. If the bench is moved, your setup could shift. Perform a few bench press motions to check that the bar doesn't hit the rack and adjust yourself so you lie as far toward the head side as possible. Depending on your setup and flexibility, you'll need to make small adjustments each time. Step 2. Retract and depress the scapulae. Retract and depress your scapulae. In anatomical terms, retraction refers to scapular adduction and depression refers to scapular depression. When retracting, don't just pull the scapulae straight back. From a head-on view, think of folding your torso vertically, pulling the shoulders back and lifting the chest. From above, the scapulae should form a V shape, which represents external rotation. The extended line of the scapula is called the scapular plane. If your elbows drop below this plane, it can cause anterior shoulder injuries. If your arch is low and you fail to retract and externally rotate the scapulae, meaning you don't set your scapula, your elbows will travel too deep below the scapular plane and increase shoulder injury risk. Scapular depression has only a small range of motion, about 1 to 2 centimeters, so it can be hard to feel. Simply focus on keeping your shoulders from rising. Some people confuse scapular depression with puffing the chest, but that actually involves thoracic extension, arching the upper back, and scapular posterior tilt, tilting the scapula backward. We'll cover that later. If you move with your shoulders elevated, the upper bones of the shoulder joint can impinge the suprastynatus tendon, causing injury. Next, while maintaining scapular retraction and depression, perform a bench press motion in the air. Fine-tune the scapular position where you feel the strongest at the bottom. First, roughly set your scapulae through retraction and depression, then use the air press to make precise adjustments. Don't make small twitchy movements. Move as if you're actually holding the bar and pressing seriously. This scapular setup significantly affects your benching power. It's not an exaggeration to say it can make a 10 to 20 kilograms difference. Thoroughly study where your scapulae should be positioned to create maximum force at the bottom. When this setup is correct, you'll see a noticeable arch from a head-on view. Step 3. Grip the bar. Grip the bar while keeping your scapular setup intact, though the scapulae will slightly upwardly rotate. A general guideline is about 1.5 times shoulder width. Avoid forcing your index fingers on the 81 cm marks. This is for advanced lifters. However, lifters with long arms might still have a narrow grip even at 81 cm, depending on their frame. When the bar is at the bottom, your forearms should be vertical when viewed from the head side. If they tilt outward, it's wide grip. If inward, it's narrow grip. Grip in the way that feels most natural. Don't force an unnatural wrist angle, just grip comfortably. The bar should rest on the lower half of your palm, not the fingers. Wrap your palm around the bar and lightly close your fingers. Don't overgrip. When unlocking, it should feel more like the bar is resting on your hands than being gripped. Avoid thumb-rest grip. It's dangerous and increases the risk of dropping the bar. Use the thumb-around grip as a standard. You can test your ideal grip width and angle by performing incline push-ups. Step 4. Create the arch. Maintain your scapular setup, retraction plus depression, and grip as much as possible while building your arch. Push through your feet, lift your hips, hook your upper traps onto the bench, and push yourself toward the head side. Think of using your scapulae to lift your chest upward. This involves thoracic extension, arching your spine, and scapular posterior tilt, tilting the scapula backward. Thoracic extension is essential for both injury prevention and power output, so work on improving it using a foam roller or a similar mobility tool. Lower your hips slowly without collapsing the arch. If you drop them too fast, your arch will break down. Adjust your feet to maintain tension and stability. The correct foot position is wherever you can generate the strongest leg drive. Try a combination of wide or narrow, pulled back or forward, and toes out or toes in. There are 8 patterns in total. Find the position where you can push hardest. Your glutes should lightly touch the bench rather than less flat. That's fine. At this point, your setup is complete. These initial steps determine about 80% of your bench press performance. Practice until you can achieve a consistent setup every time. Step 5. Breathing. Before unlocking, take a deep breath. Inhale into your chest. Fill it with air. Be careful not to let your shoulders rise. Keep the scapula depressed. Step 6. Unlock. Hold your breath and unlock the bar. This movement is called the lock off. The bar path should be slightly diagonal forward. If your lock hooks are long, lift the bar straight up first, then move it forward. Avoid lifting toward the uprights. The biggest mistake here is letting your shoulders rise. Keep the scapulae locked from step 2. Hold your breath and use your elbows and forearms to perform the lock off. Rather than thinking about lifting the bar up, imagine pushing your body down into the bench or wedging yourself between the bar and the bench. If you are lying too far forward the foot side from step 1, the unlock distance will be long and inefficient. Move slightly toward the head side. After unlocking, pause in the start position. This is called the receiving position. Your arms should be vertical to the bench, with the bar directly above your shoulders. This position is the most stable and easiest to maintain. If the bar hits a lock or drift toward your stomach, your position is too far toward the head. Adjust toward the feet. Keep your wrist in a neutral, natural position, not overly bent back or forward. Imagine how your hands would hang on a pull-up bar. The bar should rest directly over your forearm bones. Fully extend your elbows and support the bar so that you can hold it even with slight relaxation. Feel the weight through your upper back rather than your arms. If you focus too much on pushing forward, your shoulders will lift, elbows will bend, and your arms will shake. Visualize supporting the weight with your back. You should be able to hold this position comfortably for around 5 seconds. Step 7. Breathing. Once the bar is stable at the top, take another deep breath. Again, fill your chest with air while keeping the scapula depressed. Hold your breath to create intra-abdominal pressure. Step 8. Lowering the bar. Maintain scapular retraction plus external rotation, depression, and posterior tilt while lowering the bar. Keep your elbows neither too flared nor too tucked. Find the angle where you can pull them deepest backward. As you approach the bottom, continue tightening the scapulae in the same directions. Retraction, external rotation, depression, and posterior tilt. Lower the bar to around the xiphoid process, which is the bottom of the sternum. Though this is only a guideline and you should ultimately find the position where you are strongest. Keep your forearms vertical. Avoid letting the bar drift toward your head or stomach. Lower the bar under control. Don't drop it quickly. Losing control can cause injury and reduce output. Don't twist your elbows inward or outward. Move straight down. Rotational movement in the elbows increases stress on the joints and decreases power output. Step 9. Bottom position. At the bottom, scapular retraction plus external rotation, depression, and posterior tilt should all be maximized. When the bar touches your chest, immediately reverse the movement explosively. Do not bounce the bar off your chest. It can cause sternum or rib fractures and hinder strength development in the bottom range. Step 10. Pressing. Ascent. Press the bar along the same path as the descent. Whether it's a single rep or a working set, always lock out fully at the top. Avoid pressing straight up and lowering immediately again. That creates an inefficient arc and can lead to failure under heavy loads. Be careful not to let the bar drift toward your head, causing your elbows to flare. If that happens, consciously bring the bar back to the correct path. Keep your forearms vertical throughout. If they tilt toward your stomach, your pressing line won't align with your triceps prospector, reducing power. Don't twist your elbows in or out. Press straight up. Step 11. Rerack. Pause briefly at the top position, then guide the bar back into the rack. Master these 11 steps until you can perform them automatically without conscious effort.